All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick!
Alright, let's just cut to the chase. I hate homework, but if you didn't see my previous video on Doom Revelations, then go watch that first ideally. If not, be warned because this is all spoilers, baby. No tremendous amount of preamble this time, but maybe just a little bit. So when I first reviewed the DLC, I abstained from touching on the end game because I am a firm believer in buying a package for its entirety, not for what it gives you at the very end, after you, let's say, beat the campaign or grind towards the late game. If you have to put in 10 hours of mediocrity first to then get to the good stuff, then that's just poor design in my opinion. A lot of people disagree on that, and I know some people don't care as long as the late game is good. I mean, I have 200 plus hours on Destiny 2, so obviously I get it too. But typically, if you're selling a DLC, I want the good stuff from head to toe. So I stand by what I said. The main story gameplay is indeed very much worth it. However, the endgame is fucking phenomenal, man. It is actually peak Doom gameplay. Best in franchise, I'd argue. But before I can chill over the good, I gotta address the bad. So in case you don't know, in Revelations, there are many doors locked behind purple demonic seals saying, "You need the master key before you can proceed." So the idea was very Metroidvania-esque in the sense that you'd first have to beat the main game and then backtrack to go into areas initially locked away. Personally, I hate backtracking because it feels like a lazy way to reuse content, but it's not too bad here because they added fast travel and the new areas are intriguing enough, and because the level aesthetic is done so well, they're not bad sights to see twice. But yeah, you have to backtrack a bit in these new sections, and you have 3 new main objectives: the Praetor Suit Arena upgrades, classic Doom levels, and then the Rituals of Power, which I shall refer to for the rest of this video, time trials. Complete them in any order you want. You are not locked in to finishing any section. You can even go to different sections to do all of the same levels if you want. Additionally, each objective gives you something, whether it's pieces of the classic 83 shotgun, Praetor suit upgrades, or currency, and or the Astral Boss key fragments, which, as its name suggests, unlocks the mega extra special big bad of this DLC. Now here lies my biggest issue with putting all of this content for the endgame. Drumroll please. You ready? Okay, it's one word, and the word is pacing. The pacing of this entire DLC would have been so much better if this juicy, buttery content would have been spread out interwovenly with the main story. It's like how in Doom Eternal you can do the Slayer Gate, where you would be put to the test with the real good challenge. It was a change in flow from the main story arenas and spread out evenly throughout the game. Revelations basically throws all of its best content at you at once, and it really is peak, but man, it's just climax back to back to back to back to back. And brother, as much as I love climaxing, your boy's gotta reload. I mean, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Quick, static cut. So, you save your best content for last, and it's a non-stop, high-octane action, which I'm sure some people may love, but I genuinely believe this would have served the DLC better as a whole if they had spread it out a little bit more. In its defense, the Praetor encounters make sense to be placed at the very end because they are the most batshit crazy from the content, right next to the Master Arenas, which are the same arenas again, but with more demonic quantity and demonic aggression cranked up to 11. So for these encounters, I get it wanted us to have the best kit for the most exhilarating fights, so that one I'd keep as the end game, but at the very least, some of the time trials and for sure the classic levels could have been part of the main story's path, since it would have beefed up the original package better and it would have given us more time with an old friend. Okay, critique over. On to the good stuff. Now, continuing on again with the classic Doom levels. I'm actually very glad they brought these back because these levels were always very fun previously, and they're great here too. Hella nostalgic for OG fans or new fans that may have played the other games, since you know, this franchise is older than a lot of people who play it. But apart from nostalgia, it is a great way to honor your roots in your legacy games. Again, I personally would have put them in the main story's path to prevent it from feeling overly repetitive towards the end, but great levels nonetheless. Then come the time trials, or the trials of power. These were really missed from base Dark Ages since base had none to be found. I like the time trials because they're a good way to challenge your mastery over the game, and you want to get those gold medals for all the loot it gives and the cloud of knowing you can skate fast and eat demonic ass. Also, the Doom franchise has never shied away from wearing the title of video game as a name tag, but base Dark Ages kind of took itself a little too seriously in my opinion. But these time trials really do help bring back that video game feel. Now comes my favorite parts of the endgame, and that solidified Revelations as my favorite Doom content as of date, gameplay wise. Quick honorable mention, I know in my last video too I mentioned that the soundtrack was a cut above base Dark Ages, but after hearing it with even more action-packed fights, I can bestow the highest possible honor to Doom Revelations soundtrack, and that is, the music is so good that it made my workout playlist, especially the song that you should be hearing right now, which is called Until It Is Done. And I mean, yeah, you hear this banger and it's amazing. Hopefully editing Kevin didn't raise this too loud because then you can't really hear what I'm saying. Alright, as I was saying, the Praetor suit upgrade arenas are also some of the best Doom content has to offer, especially since you have to do them again in the Master Arena mode as your final tasks. It's just a constant barrage of demons coming at you left, right, buffing one another, attacking you, and shooting you from all different angles, really doing their absolute best to put you in the ground. But by this point, the Slayer has upgraded and mastered the spear. Along with the Praetor suit given by the architect, his biceps are unstoppable, and so are yours. So it is just an adrenaline rush after an adrenaline rush with constant slashing and dashing, ground pounding and stabbing. Pure awesomeness, man, I swear. So, after the Praetor suit arena battles, Slayer time trials, and classic Doom levels, but before the Master Arena levels, you also have one big bad chonker of this DLC, and his name is John Cena! He's gonna get in the ring! Taggart. And this huge elemental nutsack with teeth was a real fucking prick to beat. His boss fight felt so video gamey, but in the best way possible. He has 3 major phases with huge variety of attacks and different patterns to learn, along with a changing arena that forces you to stay mobile and use the meat hook to anchor to survive with the occasional need of the shield. Great fucking fight, man. A real pain in the appendix too, because if you fall into the arena whenever he opens it up, you take massive damage. But when you come back, the son of a bitch will pop an invulnerable shield just to laugh at you, and then resumes the fight. 10 out of 10 would rage against him again. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. I know I, quote unquote, spoiled what the end game is about, but in reality, I can't, because it's just something you gotta experience for yourself, man. As of recording this video, only 0.24% of gamers have completed this boss fight. And as badass as it is to be part of the minority, more people need to play this, man, because this is some top tier S-grade content, man. I really did enjoy Revelations, but I will say this one more caveat. The more I played Revelations, the more I feel Eternal rather than Dark Ages, which for a moment made me think, oh man, maybe they should have never strayed from Doom Eternal. To which I say, nah man, no regrets. Base Dark Ages did a lot for the franchise, and again, they took a big swing with the shield combat that taught id Software a lot while keeping the franchise fresh for fans. And even though I keep bringing it up Eternal, I actually did go back to play it right after beating Revelations, and it's crazy to me how much id Software innovates and improves on their games in a lot of major ways, but also subtle mechanics that you don't really think about until you go back and find out that they're missing. It has me stoked and curious about what the next DLC will look like in terms of gameplay, and if I had to guess, more refinement on the spear and less innovation, since Base Dark Ages and Revelations already did a lot in the innovation side of things. Look man, I know I sound a little crazy, so let me tell you this, plain and simple, this DLC is awesome. I think it's a must play experience to add to your gaming portfolio. The overanalyzation, the criticism, and the pondering of future ventures stems from the fact that I love this franchise and I really love this game. And I really loved this DLC. If I didn't feel so strongly about this game, I wouldn't have said what I have spoken. So I definitely deem it worth playing. So if you made it this far into the video, thank you for joining the conversation. Make sure you comment your thoughts if you did play it. And if you haven't, you better come back, bro. I've never been more invested in the Doom community's thoughts. Don't forget to drop a like, a sub if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, kids.